Night presses on Dachau's brick walls. A galvanized tub is filled with ice that crackles like broken glass. A prisoner is strapped at the shoulders. His breath makes white ghosts. A nurse checks a leather strap on a glass thermometer. A physician raises a nickel stopwatch. The click sounds like a verdict. The probe reads low, lower than a number no living skin should host. Steam lifts from a second tub across the room, the rescue bath. Pencils scratch times, pages turn by their corners to keep from tearing. They call this aviation medicine. They call it the fight to save pilots. Outside, the North Sea is winter black. Inside, the clock runs forward. The body runs back. Question: if a cure is timed by a stopwatch but bought with a life, what exactly is being saved? By 1942, the war has shifted into the cold and the air. Luftwaffe sorties push across the North Atlantic and the North Sea. Pilots crash. Many live the impact, then die in minutes from cold. Hypothermia is not dramatic. It is a slow arithmetic of heat loss. The German command wants thresholds, tables, and rewarming protocols. How long can a man remain in 2-degree water and survive? Which rewarming works? Hot baths, heat lamps, skin to skin, or stimulants? In wartime, questions become orders. Orders become experiments. Civilian ethics recede behind a gate wired for power. Dachau, Bavaria, is chosen for aviation experiments. There are prisoners, rooms, tanks, and people willing to measure. This is the hopeful lie of the era, that any cruelty can be excused if it might save someone we choose to value. The stated aim is rescue. The instrument is cold. The lead name appears on official letters, Dr. Sigmund Rascher. The chain of authority is explicit. Rascher reports to Himmler. Academics lend a gloss. Professor Ernst Holz-Luhner joins to discuss physiology. The plan is simple, the method exacting. Prisoners are immersed in ice water between approximately 2 and 12 degrees Celsius. Rectal probes log core temperatures minute by minute. Stopwatches track shiver onset, loss of consciousness, and cardiac instability. Photography freezes faces. The camera becomes another instrument. At target lows, rescue begins. Hot baths, about 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, lamps and skin contact. Tables grow like ivy across clipboards. Numbers look authoritative. The room smells of wet iron, ether, and heated ceramic. A nurse calls out a temperature. A doctor writes, underlines, and nods. The regime believes data will redeem the method. The stopwatch pretends to be a conscience. Consent is absent. Coercion wears a white coat. Prisoners are selected, stripped, and strapped. Some are Polish, some are Russian. Some never had names in the record, only numbers. Core temperatures are pushed toward collapse. Approximately 24 to 26 degrees is noted as critical. Ventricular fibrillation appears like a sudden storm. Sometimes the rewarming bath is too hot. Skin reddens, then blanches. Sometimes stimulants are tried. The heart answers with chaos. Body-to-body contact is logged as animal warmth. Everything becomes a variable. Nothing becomes a person. Survivors describe the shivering, then the quiet that follows it. Guards describe compliance. Physicians describe thresholds. Under the clipboards, a pile of towels holds a pallid blue. In the ledger, the entries line up beautifully. In the room, the silence swells. The war ends. The paper remains. 1946-47 in Nuremberg, the doctor's trial opens its binders. Charts from Dachau appear with neat columns of temperature and time. Photographs surface, the tub, the straps, the steam, the stopwatch. Letters from Himmler to Rascher, 1942, summarize methods and deaths. Witnesses describe the room, the ice, and the phrases used: rescue study. Defendants point to the air war and the lives of pilots. They argue the knowledge was necessary and therefore valuable. The judges ask a harder question: valuable to whom and at what price? Verdicts come down, sentences are read, some are executed, others imprisoned. But one problem lingers beyond the courtroom: the data itself. Should medicine use numbers born of cruelty when a modern patient is freezing? Some argue utility, others argue moral infection. The world answers with a code, not a compromise. The Nuremberg Code, 1947. Voluntary consent, beneficence, proportional risk, the subject's welfare above all. The stopwatch is replaced by a signature line. The tub is replaced by a rule. This is the mirror medicine rarely wants to face. Precision is not the same as rigor. Rigor is not the same as ethics. The Dachau experiments measured cold with accuracy and meaninglessness. They chased a life-saving protocol while discarding the life in front of them. Urgency is seductive. It makes brutality feel efficient. War compounds the effect, and uniforms quiet dissent. We still confront hypothermia. Fishermen still fall through ice. Search and rescue teams still ask what rewarming works fastest and safest. But knowledge is not just numbers, it is also its origin story. A table made from coercion is not neutral, it is stained. Modern guidelines insist on consented studies, humane models, and clear oversight. They insist that if we cannot do it ethically, we cannot claim to know it. Motif return. In teaching hospitals, a registrar checks a clock, then a consent form. The second hand moves, the pen moves. This time, the patient moves it too. Back in the room, listen for the click of the stopwatch. The sound is small, but it fills the air with finality. The last entry is written with the same neat hand as the first. There is no line in the ledger for regret. History adds one after the fact and calls it the code. We inherit more than findings. We inherit boundaries. A cure that begins with cruelty ends as a warning label for the future.
Haunting 12-word rule. When rescue requires cruelty, the cure is already condemned. Next time, another wartime innovation that promised salvation and delivered a reckoning.